Thanks,
Rick and Bubba Show. Coming up at the top of the hour, for those of you that continue to go with radio, a phone interview with Johnny Van Zant of Leonard Skinner. We will talk to him. For some of you will hear that today. Others will hear it tomorrow. And if you can only see us on Turner South, you won't hear it at all.
Rick, can we have,
sorry,
for the rest of the hour, just Leonard Skinner bed music,
okay,
please?
from here on?
Yes,
done. Because we have to, sometimes we can only schedule, if you've ever tried to get anybody from Leonard Skinner to get up and be on the phone with you before 9 o'clock Central, good luck.
Yes.
That's not really their gig.
This may be a small miracle, as it is.
So I hate that. Those of you that are watching Turner South, you will not see the interview or hear it. That would be a better way to put it, because he's not going to be here with us. He'll be on the phone. Bubba, but that coming up at 9 o'clock for those of you that are radio on Central Time. For Eastern Time Zone, you will have it first hour tomorrow. I had kind of a strange situation. You know, yesterday it kind of ties in. Those of you have heard either today or you heard it yesterday, Cassio Kidd, it was revealed that he was taking ballroom dancing and was registered into a jazzercise class.
Taught by Megan's mother.
Yeah.
That he would not come clean on until we just had to drag it out of him.
So the topic kind of was touched on, but we didn't spend much time on it. And you know, some of the embarrassing things that we will do for women, and we will do some really goofy things. And then there's some that you know, and I always go back to our fathers and grandfathers versus us in our generation, as far as being a man. You know, and I'm not saying everything that they did was right and everything we're doing is wrong. I'm just saying different. A lot different.
Oh, yeah.
Would you agree?
Yes, a lot different.
And in general, you would consider us to be a little more puddish than they were.
Rick, you would think if things continue the way they're going, if I got something on?
No, I do.
little snack there during the break.
Yeah.
That by the time our sons are adult, they'll be wearing skirts.
Yes, and you know, the influx of soccer and things like that. But do you remember?
With no bagpipes, by the way.
You remember I went through that time period and I was getting sick a lot? Was it the end of last year? Is that when it was? And I came on with a list of things I think you can go back to and see when it caused me to become a hood. Do you remember that?
As you slid down the hill.
Yes. The list of reasons why I think I'm becoming a hood and what has caused it. Well, you might remember that one of those on there was allowed myself to be photographed in a black sweater.
Yes.
Do you remember that one?
Yes, I do.
Even though the intentions were all good. Well, from that photo session were produced some of the most touching photos of Taz as a newborn baby. Very, you know, Sherry had one that was just my hands, and he's laying in it, and he's asleep. It's just,
well, that was those ones up in your home.
Yeah,
beautiful.
The ones you couldn't see Rick's sweater on.
Right. Well, there is one of the photo session that had been tucked away into the back bedroom at the old house, and so it was never really an issue because you know your dad and your buddies they don't blow through your bedroom a lot, you know, and if they do, you know, you might want to check your relationship with you and your wife. But you know, it's just not a place usually people go other than other women. You know, you might have your mama or your sister tell your wife, "Can I go back there and use?" You know, but
we never want to go. Most times we'll go to the basement.
Yeah, right. So it was and it just in the craziness of the new house and putting up things, it didn't dawn on me that now the photo that is not really one you want your guys to see or your dad is now prominent in the new house. It's not.
Where's it at?
It's go up the stairs and there she is right there on a big old wall with the others they're already visual in the other house, but this wall required a fourth picture instead of the three that were shown at the old house. And it just never even hit me. I didn't even notice it. I'm just, and don't get me wrong, it's a precious picture and all that.
Most guys don't go upstairs though either. You may be all right there. Maybe a granddad.
This one overlooks your...
But I'm afraid this is the Killer Bees area, and there's a playroom up there. So
kids going up.
A dad could go after a kid up there, and there it is.
Could you give me your pose? What you got?
Well, you know, and we look back on the things that we'll do. And on that day, I was just trying to be happy and make everything go well. And I thought, well, this photo will never be seen by my dad or my brother. you know, or y'all, you know. So yesterday I had to rush home after the show and take care of Taz, and Big Love had a doctor's appointment, and I was there at the house, and one of my buddies called and said, hey, I'm in the neighborhood. Now, I was told not to have anybody over at the house, number one, because it's not presentable.
Right.
And we've had, you know, people fall through the ceiling and all that.
And I find it strange you're having movie night tomorrow night. That was...
That's not true.
Actually, that's at Robert's house.
Yeah, but we'll discuss that over here. So this person said, have you got anything for you and Taz to eat? And I said, no. And he says, well, I'm in the neighborhood. I'll grab you something and bring it by. And I said, that's huge, and I'll pay you back. And I tried to get him there without Sherry knowing, but she stayed around longer than I wanted to, trying to get to this. And she said, do not have the person in this house, have them drop the food here in the kitchen. And yes, okay, you can let them see your little movie thing, and then they don't show them anything else in the house because it's a mess. And I hadn't got everything in its place. And I should have done that. So I mistakenly went up the stairs after Taz, and he followed, as he should not have done. And he goes up the steps, and I had completely forgot about it, and he freezes staring at the wall and says, oh, my gosh. And I go, what? I think he sees something, or maybe somebody else has fallen through the roof.
Leaky something.
Right, and he goes, has everybody seen that picture there, sir? And I went, oh, no. And I completely forgot about it. He goes, has your dad seen that one? And I said, no. He goes, did your brother check that one out? And I said, the boys on the show seen that one? No.
Who was it came by?
Mark Garnett. And I said, and I wish you weren't seeing it. Was my quote. He goes, you got yourself a problem there.
What are you doing here?
And I said, I'm like snuggled up with Sherry and the baby with my eyes closed, okay? And,
With your eyes closed?
yeah, and a black sweater.
Are you giving us a sexy look with your eyes
No,
closed?
it's more of a look at me, love my wife and baby thing.
Well, Rick.
How did you look
okay,
at
so
it?
y'all would like for me to walk and see y'all in that pose?
No.
Okay, then.
How did you look
you're
in it?
now really in trouble.
I don't know. I look stupid, you know, but I mean, it's...
Is it a...
it's kind
You're
of...
snuggling
and
in a black sweater.
Yeah. And it seriously, and there was a time, I'm not making this up, and I just started measuring the blowback because it's symmetrical. If it goes, it's bad. And I looked at him and I said, at this very moment, I would like to give it to you, and you just take it with you. And I said, whatever happens to it, happens to it. And I'll just act like I don't know what happened to it, like maybe somebody fell out of the season, their foot hit it and broke it. You know, like that. He goes, I think he's due. I think I should take it. He said, and only I will know. And then I realized I couldn't get away with that. And I said, well, it's time to throw myself before somebody else comes in. You know what I mean? Because it won't be long before the house will be open for business and people will be coming over and that kind of thing.
Rocky, it's like when I got stuck. I knew I needed to, before the rumor got out, the hush talk, you know.
So I will just...
the whisper campaign.
Under the guise of we will do anything for women to try to stay in good order, there is a picture in my house of me in a black sweater snuggling my wife and baby with my eyes closed.
Your eyes had just been open.
Yeah. And see, I knew the photographer taught me into the closing of the eyes.
Oh, did he?
And I knew...
In the back of your mind.
Well, he works
do
for
it,
her,
don't do
so
it.
But see, and it's not fair either. It's almost like taking advantage of a drunk. I mean, I'm at a photo deal with the baby and the wife anyway, so I'm beat down and I'm just trying to survive it. And you'll almost do anything to get out of it, just to get it done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, sure, those pictures turned out precious. But people don't remember, I do, that the baby was relieving himself out both ends, all over me, in the floor. You know, you got a naked baby who's just weeks old, and all he does is sleep and eat and crap, and that's all they do. You know what I mean?
It's their job.
And I mean, he's firing all over me, and, you know, they come off, and, you know, because photos are strange like that. They capture a moment that really is not reality. You know, any little picture of a kid, they never have the picture of what you went through to get that one shot.
No.
You know what I mean? And
you almost want a picture of them taking the picture.
Right.
So you have a better picture.
This one was put away in the old house. It was never an issue, but now it's out there. It will be seen by some of my guy friends. Now, I'll do everything I can to keep people away from it, but it's just...
Well, now when I come in, I must go directly to that picture.
How about this? This is what I'm considering. Tell me if you think this is the right thing to do. I will pick a day, and I will line up every one of my guy friends. including my brother and father. And one after another, we will all go look at it and just get it over with.
Oh, bring it in here.
Yeah, I was going to say, once you bring it in.
Should I just
Because
bring
you know what'll happen, Rick. You know, Lord forbid, something happened to you, and you go first. We will all have to go to a funeral, and that will be the picture that's on the easel next to the head.
And y'all won't be ready for it then, and it'll be inappropriate.
I know it, and I'll see it, and I'll go, wow, this is sad, but why do I want to just scream with laughter? You know what, and you'll feel bad.
I didn't even think about that.
Because you know how it would be if you were gone.
Y'all don't need that to hit y'all at a time you need to be somber.
No, I don't need that.
Not that I even want you to be somber at my funeral, by the way. I mean...
Well, you thought Tony in a clown suit was funny.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, this is...
And the foam nose. But
should I bring it in, put it on TV, and even give it to Greenwood for the website for a certain amount of time?
I think it should be scanned, yes.
Plus, if you bring it in, you stand a greater chance of losing it, Rick.
Or breaking it along the way.
That's right. I could drop it in the parking lot and shatter into a million pieces.
Yeah. And then run over it and back up and run over it
I wouldn't want to go home with you if you do that, but...
Well, but then all you guys, the little proof that you put in like a photo album, and you can keep it hid, and guys never see those.
Right.
Because I'm going to tell you, inside those photo albums, there's things you don't want you guys to see. But you can keep them away from them. Guys don't go for photo albums.
No.
All right, we'll be back.
Precious memory.
Rick and Bubba.
We're back. It is 11 minutes to the top. A lot of phone calls standing by. And you know the other part I'd like to deal with on this? I can understand a woman photographer doing this and not knowing better. But this was a guy. Is the guy, all he's concentrated on is he knows the way to wealth is to make the woman love the picture, and he just throws you as a sacrifice?
Yes. He's working for her, not you.
Right, but you think...
you never would agree to it.
You think another guy, though, would go, all right, I'm going to take care of you here today. But he knows if he takes care of you, it'll be photos the women won't like, right?
He's as good as a woman, Rick.
Let's go to Allison.
Sorry.
And I know, because that's who he's working for.
Oh, yeah.
Allison in Montgomery. How are you, Allison?
I was okay, but now y'all done made me mad.
Why is that?
I've never disagreed with y'all, but y'all are dead wrong on this one. Y'all are dead wrong on this.
From a woman's point of view, you're probably right. You probably feel that way.
No. I can prove it. Let me tell you something. Y'all saying guys are weaker now?
No, I'm not weaker. I'm talking about more puds. We cave in to sappy things more than our dads and granddads ever.
Oh, my God. My daddy and my granddaddy did more caving in than y'all ever thought about doing. They just didn't tell anybody.
Is that what it was? But at least their PR was better.
But wait a minute. You said about the dance classes and Casio taking dance classes and all the things guys do to please women. Our daddies, have you been to see any guys dancing lately at a club? Have you seen any guys dancing? They can't dance. Y'all can't dance. My daddy and granddaddy can outdance every one of you because they know how to take
You're
care
talking
of
about, yeah, but they used to learn to dance like real dancing, like couple dancing. See, we came out in an era where couple dancing, we didn't get out there and do sock hop kind of stuff.
Not to mention, don't you have a picture of your daddy standing with all the kids by the car? That black and white one.
You talking about like all his kids, like us outside or something?
You remember, if you look in people's photo albums, like my daddy and my granddaddies, all the daddies are standing there with their hat on and they're by like a Studebaker.
Yeah.
They're always same thing.
Yeah, they didn't have a black sweater on with their eyes closed.
They didn't have a sweater on hugging your mama with their eyes closed.
They had to take their overalls off and they had to put on a button-down shirt. Same thing.
Okay, thank you, Allison.
Think about it.
Not sure I follow the point.
Allison's an angry lady.
There's a difference between knowing how to dance and then just bringing it. You know, I mean, that's how we dance. You know, I mean, I've seen y'all two bring it. Bubba, get back there. He's bringing it.
Here's the question. Y'all expect any of us guys to believe?
Please phrase that right, bringing it from Piedmont.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Has there ever been, is there a man anywhere who said, yes, I will take up ballroom dancing and a woman not be involved in it? Ever? Candida in Huntsville.
Good morning.
How are you?
Whoa, Candida. We can make it together.
It is so good to be talking to you. It has been forever.
It's our pleasure.
Big Tony Orlando fans, too. So.
But I don't know if you remember me. I took actually Hunter's baby pictures years and years and years ago.
You sent her a check.
Some of his first pictures actually in Gadsden years ago. But you have found a photographer. Okay, don't say my last name, but you have found a photographer who agrees with what you're saying.
Right.
So wait a minute. Let me ask you, did you work at like a nationally known department store?
Absolutely.
So that's where I got mine done.
Yeah, good. So they can't get you in that environment. You know what I mean?
Well, actually, I work for one now, and the picture that you're describing, I have demoed in my studio. I have a display of that picture. And brace yourself, okay, because there are actually men who come in and ask to have that picture done. And I will ask them, are you sure?
See, here's somebody looking out for you. It's a precious picture, but it should be very private.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. 100%, I agree with you.
Well, thank you for at least admitting that.
Absolutely.
Okay? I feel like, you know, the CNN, you know, piece in the New York Times where they said they were spinning the news out of Baghdad, I feel like I've just heard that again. Well, somebody's coming clean.
My mom called and claims the same picture is already hanging in her house. I thought she just had the one of the baby in my hands. She didn't have the one with me like all...
See, I know for a fact, and Rick, this is bad because now there's multiple copies out there. That's the worst thing, MC.
So in other words, it's been at my mom's house and I'm in such denial about it, I haven't noticed it.
So you know what happens when your dad's friends come by that he's played ball with and his football players, they go by and he says, look at my precious son with his eyes closed here.
Dad, I'm sorry, I didn't know it.
I just have a feeling your dad, when he talks about you and Greg, he doesn't want to use the word precious. He just doesn't want that in there.
He never has. Now, his grandkids are precious and his daughter's precious,
sure.
But we've never been precious.
No. And I don't think that you should be, maybe.
How about this? So I've done this to my dad. I didn't even know that. Well, no wonder there's been a little bit of...
Sure.
I've noticed...
You know what? That's probably 3 of the bypasses right there. That alone, that picture.
I put him in the hospital.
Yes, you did, Rick. Thank you.
Wow,
sorry, Coach.
I thought it was just the one with me holding the baby. I didn't know it's me, like, eyes closed and Huggins in there, too.
Black turtleneck. I bet it's ribbed, too, isn't it? Sure.
Long sleeves.
Sure.
We've all done things we're not proud of. Sorry about that, Dan. Wow.
Has Greg got one like that?
I don't think so.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.